Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. As the video title indicated, Teresa got COVID at memory care and I brought her back home last weekend. I'm recording this video in my home office, which is the room furthest away from our bedroom. Normally I record out there in the living room, but that's pretty close to our bedroom. Teresa's asleep right now and I don't want to wake her up, and I don't want her to hear me talking about all this. So today marks the 10th day that she has been back home with me. Several residents and staff members got COVID at memory care. Staff were sent home, and the residents that had COVID were pretty much being isolated to their bedrooms for 10 days. Um, I could not bear the thought of her being isolated in a room for that length of time, so bringing her home was a no-brainer for me, and the memory care staff agreed that coming back home would be best for her. I ended up getting COVID as well, but our symptoms were very mild, just a minor sore throat, slight cough, and this last week has actually been really good. Teresa's readjusted well to being back, and she hasn't had any delusions or hallucinations. She's been enjoying time with the cats and getting to sleep in her own bed. It has felt really good to have her back here, guys. I enjoy caring for her, cooking for her, and making her feel as comfortable as possible. A real sense of purpose has returned to my life. I had a bunch of vacation time saved up, so I just worked half days last week, mostly between 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. while she was still sleeping. Today marks the Today marks the day that our quarantine is up and Teresa would be eligible to return to memory care. However, I've decided that she's not going to be returning, at least not for the time being. I'm going to care for her here again at home. I know things could get tough and really hard again, but she's doing so good for the last 10 days. I just cannot place her back into memory care. I want her here. She's happy. She's happy here. She's been easy to care for, and I just can't take her back. It would be like knowingly placing an innocent person, in jail. The delusions and hallucinations and escape attempts from the house were the main drivers for making the decision to place her in memory care previously. Um, that aspect of caregiving really wore me down over time. I can do all the cooking, cleaning, bathing, looking for lost items and the doctor's appointments, etc. Those things were the easier part of caregiving, at least for me. I believe her high dosage of Seroquel contributed to the delusions and the hallucinations. Another contributing factor was the lack of routine here at home and the long hours I was working at the time. Even though I was working right here from home, sometimes spend all day here in my home office, and I could not interact with her as much as I needed to. Sometimes also have to work well into the night when there was a special project or some sort of emergency. So what am I going to do now to try and make things better here at home this time around? Well, one day at a time, but here's my plan so far. First off, my job role has changed since she has been at memory care. I'm no longer on call, and I don't have to work late into the night. I don't have to leave the house when there's any sort of IT emergency. My new role is much more flexible and conducive to looking after Teresa and interacting with her during the day. She is a late sleeper, so I will try and get the real bulk of my work done here in the morning. Secondly, her medications seem to be dialed in and are better managed now. She's on a lower dose of Seroquel and is only taking it once a day at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I also have some new anxiety medications at my disposal that I can give her as needed to help manage any sort of extreme agitation or anxiety that may arise in the future. I was prescribed to her after her first altercation at memory care. However, it was never given to her and only kept on standby if it was ever needed. Lastly, I'll need some respite relief, and Teresa will need some time with her family and friends. those family members and friends that have been involved in her life, and they've been really supportive of her coming back home, and look forward to spending time with her now that we are through with our COVID quarantine. I'm also looking to hire some caregivers part-time to help out a few times a week. Some of the caregivers from memory care that looked after Theresa and were fond of her are subscribers to her channel. So if any of you out there watching looking for any side work, please shoot me a message. Alright guys, well that's going to wrap up today's video. Bringing Theresa back home was totally unexpected twist to this journey, but I truly believe it was meant to happen. I'm still a proponent of memory care, and it very well may be needed at some point in the future, but for now, my love is back home with me, and I'm going to do everything I can to make it work out. I will likely make a short video with her at some point here at home. Maybe her favorite cat, Bean, will jump up on the couch with us. Alright guys, well take care. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.